our playoff spots. So, Ron, let's do our predictions for week 10. And I want to start off by that Thursday night game.
Big game.
Big game.
Yeah.
The Bengals at the Ravens. Baltimore has a 6-point spread. Over and under is 52.5. Ron, what's your prediction?
I was just talking about how well Bengals are playing. Ravens still have a lot of issues on defense, but they traded for a cornerback. Hopefully, for them that helps. Honestly, I would go with the Bengals, but I think given the history of those two teams, Baltimore has like the edge on them all the time, like consistently. So I'm going with Baltimore to win that one.
This is their second meeting, right?
For the season, I think there might be their first for the season.
I thought I saw something where the Bengals were like, yeah, this is their second meeting, and the first meeting was won by the Bengals, 41-38. Right. This kind of worries me if it gets into a shootout, because
yeah,
I feel like Derrick Henry gets left behind, right?
Yeah,
because they get into a shootout. So I went back and forth on this one. I ultimately picked Baltimore because Deontay Johnson is going to make a difference. If the Baltimore plays better defense than Bengals, which we know that Bengals have defense, they can actually win this game, but I'm definitely picking the over. I think both of these teams are going to score a lot of
52.5. Let me ask you this. If Cincinnati wins and they're 5-5, what does that say about them? Do you think they have a chance?
They have a wild card.
Not the division.
Not the division. I don't think so. Unless they just start winning division games left and right?
Yeah,
so,
and keep in mind, Steelers haven't played a division game yet. Division's still wide open.
And we'll talk about the Browns. The next game, this is a Germany game. This is a terrible, terrible game. The Giants at Panthers. You say you're not gonna wake up?
No, not at all.
The Giants are favored by 5 points. 41.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I got the Giants winning 5 points. I don't think they'll ever be favored by that much against any other team. Besides Carolina, they should win this one. I got the Giants.
I saw a tweet, or maybe I saw it on Instagram. The Giants haven't been favored in 24 straight games. This is the first game where they actually favored. I don't know what that says about the team. I picked the Giants because I think Bryce Young is going to be starting for the Panthers.
Yeah, he has been now for a couple weeks.
Right? I still like the Giants. I like their defense. So let me get the Giants. The next game, the Bills at the Colts. For some reason, Buffalo is favored by 4. 45.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Buffalo in a blowout.
I don't know, why is it only 4 points though? That's kind of worrying me. Do they really think that the Buffalo defense is that bad? Like the Colts are gonna score points? I mean, give me Buffalo, but still, it makes me question that spread. The next game, Broncos at Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 8. 41.5 is going under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Kansas City. And I know divisional games are tough, but this one's in Kansas City, which is extremely tough to play in. So Kansas City should win this one pretty easily.
What did you think about that Kansas City Bucks game?
I thought the Bucks blew it. I thought they, for the most part, they had a lot of momentum. I think they should have went for 2 at the end of the game instead of just the tie. I thought the Bucks blew it.
You know, I was kind of watching that game in and out, and then when I look up and it was like overtime, I was like, "What?
Yeah,
overtime!" And then as soon as they lost it, the
Bucks to me looked like the better team, but I can say that about every Kansas City game this year. Kansas City has not been impressive, but they found ways to win, and that's the difference when you have Mahomes as your quarterback. You just find a way at the end. Tampa Bay, I think, they couldn't stop Mahomes at the end, and then they went down and scored, didn't go for two, and then when Kansas City got the ball, the game was over. You just knew they were going to go down and score a touchdown.
Yeah, I just knew. Talking about the Bucs, the next game is Niners at Tampa. 49ers are favored of 5.5. 51.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
You got the Bucs sitting here with 4 wins, 4-5. This almost feels like a must win for them. I still got them losing to San Francisco.
I saw that McCaffrey's practicing now, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to suit up for this.
Probably not.
I still got the Niners. They're coming off a bye week. I think they're going to be ready for the Bucs. They know Mayfield's going to probably throw a couple of IAPs. And I'm going to stop giving Purdy his flowers. He hasn't played to but I still got the Niners winning. The next game, the Vikings at Jaguars. Vikings are favored by 4. 47.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I'm going with Minnesota. I don't trust Jacksonville. I'm just going with Minnesota.
47.5 seems high, but then when you put in the third quarter and Minnesota is up 21-7, that's like Trevor Lawrence time. He's just gonna order some throw touchdowns and be like, "Oh, this is a Colts game." No, it's not. They're gonna do something dumb at the end. So give me Minnesota Vikings to win this one. Next game, Titans at Chargers. Chargers are favored by 8 points, which is same as Kansas City. Over and under is 37.5. Ron, what's your prediction?
I'm going with the Chargers. I think they have a pretty good team, probably better than I thought they would be. This is the game they should win if they want to be in the mix for the playoffs. 37.5 seems low to me, but give me the Chargers.
Give me the Chargers to dominate this game. At 37.5 is because they're not really in the business of scoring points. They're in the business of playing good defense and running the ball. So give me Chargers to win this one. The next game, Eagles at Cowboys. Eagles are favored at 7.5. 41.5 is a point differential. Ron, what's your prediction?
Philly, another divisional game, but no Dak Prescott, no running game for Dallas, no chance for the Cowboys. Give me Philly to win this one.
Give me Philly to win this one, and give me Philly to make this game a close game for some reason.
Sirianni, there's a Sirianni effect that he's going to F this one up.
7.5 is high for the spread because at the end, Philly will make a game out of this. That's just the way that the year's going. So yeah, give me Philly to win this one. But that spread, they're not going to beat them by 7. Next game, the Jets at the Cardinals. For some reason, Arizona is only favored by 1. 46.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I have the Cardinals. Now, this should be a decent game, though, right? It's in Arizona. Jets are coming off a win, although they weren't that impressive.
10-day rest, right? Because they played on Thursday.
But give me Arizona to pull this one off.
I went back and forth on this one because I was like, do I pick the Jets? It just came off a win, like you mentioned. And if they win, all of a sudden the narrative changes for some reason because it's New York. Ultimately, I landed on Arizona because they, 2 games in a row, top of the division. I think they're feeling themselves right now, so give me Arizona. Next game, Detroit Lions at Houston Texans. This is a Sunday night game. Detroit favored by 3.5. 49.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Give me Detroit. Houston's sitting at 6-3. I expected a little bit more from their offense, to be honest with you. And I think Nico Collins is back at practice today, but I'm still going with Detroit. That offense for Houston, there's just something. I know Mixon's playing and he looks better, but there's still something off with them offensively. So give me Detroit.
Yeah, give me Detroit. I mean, to me, I know that my power rankings don't show it, but to me, Detroit is the best team. I think they only have one loss, right? Texans, they just lost Anderson, which was one of their top pass rushers. If you let Goff all day, he'll just destroy you. So give me Detroit. Monday night game, Dolphins at the Rams. 2.5 points, Rams favorite. 50.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I got the Rams, and I just want the Dolphins to be put out of their misery. That's what you kind of feel like. So I think the Rams are going to do. Their offense is no joke. It's serious. They can beat teams. So, I know Tua's back. I don't know if that means they haven't really looked that much better, to be honest with you. So give me the Rams to win it.
If you look at the landscape, who are your 3 top offenses right now?
Top offenses: Detroit, Commanders, and
Baltimore? Say Baltimore?
Yeah, Baltimore put up a lot of points. I was initially thinking, what was I thinking? The Vikings, but I'll say Baltimore.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I was going to say the Bucs offense, but they're not very consistent. I think the 3 that you mentioned are consistent. They're doing their thing. They're scoring points, whether it's a running game, whether it's a passing game. Yeah, I definitely see why we chose them in that Super Bowl. Ron, New England at Chicago. The spread is 6 points for Chicago. 39.5 is the over and under. What's your prediction?
So we agreed on every single pick that we went through until we get to our teams. I know I said New England would win last week, and they didn't. I'm going with them to pull off an upset here. 6-point spread for Chicago, I think, is a lot. I talked about a little bit of friction going on in Chicago. I think New England's going to go there and pull off an upset, 23-20.
I went back and forth on this one, but because we picked them, I think we picked them 2 weeks in a row for New England to win, and they still didn't win. I picked Chicago to win this one, 21-17. And I always say Chicago's going to be stuck at 4 until they play the Patriots, because Drake May cannot do it alone. He just can't. I think Christian Barmore is at practice this week.
Okay, that's good.
So that's good, but he's not going to be ready for this game. I just feel like this still, Jerome Mayo has a long way to go. So I picked Chicago to win this one. Pittsburgh at Washington. Washington is favored by 3 points. 45.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
This should be a prime time game. I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks in this game. I can see why Washington would be the favorite. They should be the favorite, to be quite honest, the way they've been playing this season. So I want to give them credit. I do think there's going to be a lot of Steelers fan in the stands. So
it's close by.
Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily going to be a home field advantage here. And maybe this is a little bit of just my bias. But the Steelers are healthy. We got our center back. We have our backup defensive end back. Who else we got back? We got Cordell Patterson back to do kick returns and meet a third down back. I just feel, coming off a bye week, and maybe this is just my gut and some bias, like I said, the Steelers' defense and offense will finally click and get things together. And we're going to pull this one out in a tough battle. 27-24 is my score. Again, it should be a primetime game. It's a 1 o'clock game. But give me the Steelers to win this one.
Yeah, I also have the Steelers winning 24-17 because I like the Steelers defense, and I think they're going to figure Daniels, not completely, but I can see having a Chicago Bears type game where they get a lot of field goals at the beginning. And we all know that Steelers are a second half team. So I think that they'll figure it out and be like, oh, they're doing this.
Did you have Washington winning this initially, though?
No.
No, you had. Okay, all right.
No. I always had Pittsburgh because I want my money. So I'm not going to go against Pittsburgh. My upset special, because your upset special is the same, right?
Yeah, I doubled down on the Patriots. They were my upset special.
That is a Ron classic, doubling down. I actually went with Atlanta at New Orleans. I actually have New Orleans pulling the upset 24-20. They have a new coach. Dennis Allen is out. I don't know if I'm just thinking about the girl that does the skit every week. Annie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what her last name is. And he was like, "Great job, David Carr. You got Dennis Allen fired twice." And I was just like, wow, that is a fact. That is a fact. So if they can't win this game with no Dennis Allen, I don't know what else.
That team is terrible, though. Like, I mean, to be quite honest, they're just not a good team.
They're not a good team. They're just not. And I like the offensive coordinator when Carr is there.
Yeah.
Now when was Rallers there, I like Carr. Look at what happened. They lost to the Panthers last week.